Here's how to factor a perfect square trinomial. Recall that a perfect square trinomial is a trinomial that is a polynomial with three terms that when it's factored turns into a perfect square. So a squared plus 2ab plus b squared factors into the quantity a plus b squared. And a squared minus 2ab plus b squared factors into the quantity a minus b squared. The trick is recognizing whether or not your trinomial is indeed a perfect square trinomial. So let's take a look at several examples here. I need to factor x squared plus 25x plus 36. So first thing I'd like to do is figure out, is this a perfect square trinomial? To do that, is the first term a perfect square? Indeed it is. X squared is x times x. Is my last term a perfect square? It is. 36 is 6 times 6. Now, here's the tough part. Is the middle term 2 times 1 of the first term times 1 of the last terms? And indeed it is. 2 times x times 6 is 12x. So yes, this is a perfect square trinomial. So that means that I can factor it into the x and the 6 in parentheses, and because there's a plus here, I put a plus here, and that's squared. So if you can recognize that your polynomial is indeed a perfect square trinomial, you just take the square root of the first term, the square root of the last term, and then a plus or a minus, whatever's in the middle, put that in parentheses and square it. Let's take a look at our second example, 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. So let's see if this is a perfect square trinomial. My first term is indeed a perfect square. It's 3x times 3x. My last term is also a perfect square. 16 is 4 times 4. Now, is my middle term a 2, because there's always a 2, times my first term times my last term? And 2 times 3 is 6 times 4 is 24 times x. Indeed it is 24x. So yes, this is a perfect square trinomial. So I'm going to take my 3x and my 4 and put them into parentheses with a plus, because there's a plus in front of the middle term. Square it. And so my final answer is the quantity 3x plus 4 squared. And my last example, this one has a minus in it. 25x squared minus 30x plus 9. 25x squared is indeed a perfect square. 9 is indeed a perfect square. Is 30x 2 times 5x times 3? 2 times 5 is 10, times 3 is 30. Indeed it is. And notice this one has a minus here. So my answer is going to take all the stuff I have circled. So a 5x, a minus 3, put that in parentheses, square it, and that is how you factor it.